I stopped driving for Uber after that night, not because I wanted to, but because I realized something that I can't unsee. And once you notice it, you start questioning every single person that gets into your car. It was late, around 1:30 in the morning. One of those slow nights where you're just waiting for anything to pop up so you can make it worth staying out. Then I got the request. Pickup was only about 5 minutes away. No name, just a blank profile picture. That happens sometimes, so I didn't think much of it. I accepted it and started heading over. The address took me into a neighborhood I wasn't familiar with. Not a bad area, just quiet, too quiet. No cars moving, no people outside, just houses with lights on. When I pulled up, the app said I had arrived, but there was no one there. I waited, checked the address again, same spot. Then I saw the door, one of the houses across the street, slowly opened. No porch light, just darkness inside, and someone stepped out. Tall, hard to make out their face. They didn't wave, didn't say anything. They just started walking toward the car. Slow. If you're listening right now, drop a comment and tell me where you're at. I always wonder who's out there hearing these. And if you like stories like this, subscribe to Insomniac. There's more like this. All right, back to it. They got in the back seat, didn't slam the door, didn't say hello, just sat down. I glanced in the mirror, couldn't really see their face, just shadows. I asked where they were headed. No response. Then my phone updated. Trip started, destination already set. I didn't remember them entering it. I didn't hear typing. It just appeared. So I started driving. The route it gave me didn't make sense. Back roads, side streets, not the fastest way. But I followed it anyway. That's what you do. About 10 minutes in, I realized something. We hadn't passed a single car. Not one. No headlights, no movement, nothing. Just empty roads. I checked the mirror again. They were still sitting there, perfectly still, facing forward. That's when I heard it. A whisper. Not loud, not clear. Just enough to make me turn my head slightly. I can see you. My hands tightened on the wheel. I asked them what they said. No answer. I looked in the mirror again, and this time, I saw their face. Barely. But enough. They weren't looking out the window. They weren't looking at their phone. They were staring straight at me. Through the mirror. Not blinking, just watching. I looked back at the road, told myself to stay calm, finish the ride, get them out. That's it. Then the GPS glitched, screen flickered, route changed. We were now heading somewhere deeper, farther away from anything. I didn't touch it. They didn't move. But the route changed. I slowed down a little. That's when they spoke again. Clear this time. You missed the turn. I checked the GPS. I didn't miss anything, but it rerouted again, back onto a smaller road, darker, narrow. I didn't like it. I told them I was ending the ride, that I wasn't going any further. Silence. Then, they leaned forward, close enough that I could feel it, and whispered right next to my ear, "You already did." I slammed the brakes, turned around, and there was no one there. Back seat empty, door still locked, no sound of it opening, no movement, nothing. I sat there for a second, trying to process what just happened. Then my phone dinged. Ride completed. I looked down at the screen. Trip summary. Pickup, my location. Drop off, my house. My stomach dropped immediately, because I wasn't near my house, not even close. I looked up, and that's when I saw it. The road I was on was the same street I live on, same houses, same layout, same everything. But something was wrong. The lights. Every house had their lights on, and in every window. Someone was standing there, watching. I didn't drive any further. I threw the car in reverse and got out of there as fast as I could. Didn't stop. Didn't look back. I deleted the app that same night. And I haven't picked up another passenger since, because I don't know who that was, and I don't know how they knew where I lived. But I know one thing for sure. They were never trying to go somewhere. They were trying to take me somewhere. Let me ask you something. If someone got in your car like that, would you finish the ride or end it the second something felt off? I almost canceled the ride. I should have. It was one of those requests that just didn't feel right. No name, no profile picture. Pickup pin wasn't on a house. It was just sitting in the middle of a road. And not even a main road. One of those long, empty stretches that barely shows up on the map. I stared at it for a second before accepting. Something about it felt off. But it had been a slow night, and I told myself I was overthinking it. So I took it. The drive there was quiet, too quiet. No cars, no movement, just streetlights spaced far apart, barely lighting the road. And as I got closer, the houses disappeared. No sidewalks, no driveways, just trees on both sides. Then the GPS said I had arrived. I slowed down, looked around. There was nothing there. No house, no building, no person waiting, just an empty road. I sat there for a few seconds, thinking it had to be a mistake. Then my phone buzzed. Passenger added note. I looked down. 1 minute. That was it. No name, no explanation. Just that. I should have left, I know that now. But I didn't. I waited. And about 30 seconds later, my headlights hit something, standing just off the side of the road. A person. They weren't there before. I know they weren't. They stepped forward slowly, into the light. Tall, wearing something dark. I couldn't see their face. Not clearly. But they didn't wave, didn't signal. They just walked straight to the back door and got in. No hesitation, no words. Just sat down. The door closed softly behind them. I glanced in the mirror. Still couldn't see their face. Just shape. Shadow. I asked where they were going. No answer. Then the app updated. Trip started. Destination entered. Again. I didn't hear them type anything. Didn't see them move. It just appeared. So I started driving. The route it gave me was worse than the last one. Dirt roads, narrow turns. No streetlights at all now. Just my headlights cutting through the dark. About 5 minutes in, I realized something was wrong. The GPS wasn't moving. The route line stayed the same, but the distance wasn't changing. It still said 10 minutes away, even though I'd been driving for 5. I checked my speed. Normal. Checked the road. Same. But the distance wasn't moving. That's when I heard it. A soft sound, not a voice, not a word. Just breathing, slow, steady, right behind me. I tightened my grip on the wheel, told myself it was normal. Just someone sitting in the back. But it didn't feel normal. It felt too close, like they were leaning forward. I glanced in the mirror again, and this time, I saw their face. Or at least, I think I did, because it didn't look right. Too still. Too empty. Like I wasn't looking at a person. I looked back at the road immediately. My chest felt tight. I told them I was having GPS issues, that I was going to turn around. No response. Then the GPS changed, not rerouted, changed. The screen went dark for a second, then came back on. New route, different direction. And now it said, arriving. I hadn't stopped, hadn't turned, but suddenly, we were there. The road opened up into a small clearing. No houses, no buildings, just open space, and something in the middle. I slowed down, heart pounding. It looked like a car, parked, engine off, lights off, just sitting there. I stopped a few feet away, didn't move, didn't speak. Then the back door opened. I didn't hear it unlock, didn't hear it click. It just opened. I looked in the mirror. The seat was empty. Again, no movement, no sound, nothing. I turned around, slowly. The door was still open. And outside, There was no one there. Just that other car, sitting in the dark. I closed the door, put the car in reverse, and started backing up. That's when the headlights of the other car turned on, blinding, bright. I froze. Then, they turned off, and when they did, the car was gone. Just gone. Nothing there. No tire marks. No sound of it leaving. Just empty space. I didn't wait. I turned around and drove as fast as I could. Didn't care where I was going. Didn't follow the GPS. I just needed to get out of there. After a few minutes, I hit a main road. Lights, cars, everything normal again. I pulled over and checked my phone. The ride was still active. Same passenger, same trip. Still counting time, like they were still in the car. I ended it immediately, deleted the app right there, and I haven't turned it back on since, because I don't know where that person came from, and I don't know where they went. But I know one thing for sure. They weren't trying to go somewhere. They were trying to get me there. Let me ask you something. If your GPS took you somewhere like that, would you trust it? Or shut it off and drive your own way? I picked him up, even though the ride was already in progress. That's what didn't make sense. I was driving. No request, no notification, nothing. Just cruising down a main road around 2 a.m, about to call it a night. And then my phone buzzed. Trip started. I looked down. My app was open. A ride was active. Timer counting. Route already set. But I never accepted anything. I slowed down immediately. Checked the screen again. Pickup. Already completed. Passenger. Already in the car. My stomach dropped. I looked in the mirror. And that's when I saw him. Sitting directly behind me. I didn't hear the door open. Didn't hear him get in. Didn't hear anything. He was just there, perfectly still, facing forward. I froze for a second, didn't speak, didn't move. Then I forced myself to ask, "How did you get in here?" No answer, not even a reaction, just sitting there, like he had always been there. I checked the locks, still locked, all 4 doors. I watched him in the mirror again, and something about him felt wrong, not just quiet, not just weird, wrong, like I wasn't looking at a person. I asked where he was going, still nothing. Then the GPS spoke. Continue straight. The route pulled me off the main road, down a side street I didn't recognize. I should have stopped. I should have ended the ride. But something about the app, it wouldn't let me. The end trip button was there, but it was grayed out, unclickable. Like I wasn't in control anymore. I kept driving. The streetlights started disappearing, one by one, until it was just my headlights and darkness. That's when I noticed something else. The mirror. It didn't match. What I saw in the mirror wasn't what was behind me. In the mirror, he was closer, leaning forward, almost between the seats. But when I turned my head, he was still sitting back, same position, same distance. I looked back at the mirror, closer again. I felt my chest tighten. I didn't say anything, didn't react. I just kept driving. Then he spoke. The first time. Low, right behind me. "You passed it." I slammed the brakes. The car jerked forward. I turned around. He was still sitting back. Same spot. Not leaning forward, not moving. I looked at the mirror again. Now he was right behind my seat, face almost level with mine, smiling. But when I turned, nothing changed. Still sitting back, still motionless. That's when I understood something. The mirror was showing me what he was becoming, not what he was. I hit the gas, didn't care about the route anymore, didn't care where I was going. I just needed distance. The GPS started glitching, voice overlapping, repeating directions that didn't make sense. Turn back, turn back, turn back. I ignored it, kept driving. Then the headlights flickered, just once. But in that second, everything changed. The road was gone, the trees were gone, the car was still moving, but there was nothing around me, just Darkness, endless, empty. I slammed the brakes again. The car stopped instantly. Dead silence, no engine, no sound, nothing. I looked in the mirror, and this time, there was no one there. The back seat was empty. I turned around, slowly, nothing, completely empty. I sat there for a few seconds, trying to breathe, trying to understand. Then I heard it, from the passenger seat, right next to me. "You're here now." I turned my head, and he was sitting there, in the front seat, closer than before, close enough that I could see his face clearly, and it still didn't look right. It looked like me. Not exactly, but close enough that I knew what I was looking at. Same eyes, same shape, just wrong, distorted, smiling. I couldn't move, couldn't speak. Then the headlights came back on. The road was back, trees, street, everything normal. The car was moving again, like nothing had happened. I looked over. Passenger seat was empty, back seat empty, no one there. I pulled over immediately, shut the car off, got out, checked everything. Doors still locked, no one around, nothing. I got back in slowly, hands shaking, and looked at my phone. Trip completed. Passenger rating, 5 stars. Driver rating, 1 star. Comment left, "You let me in too late." I deleted the app right there. Because I don't think that was a passenger. I think it was something waiting for a ride. And I was the first one who showed up. Let me ask you something. If someone appeared in your car like that, would you keep driving or get out and run, even if you didn't know where you were? I picked her up, even though the ride had already ended. That's what the app said. Trip completed. No active rides. I was done for the night. I remember checking it twice because something felt off, like I forgot something. Everything was clear. No requests, no notifications, nothing. So I started heading home. It was around 3:15 in the morning. Roads were empty. That dead time where it feels like the world just shuts off. I was about 10 minutes from my house when I saw her, standing on the side of the road. No streetlight, no car nearby. Just standing there, facing the road. I slowed down without even thinking. Didn't open the app. Didn't check anything. I just stopped. And before I could say anything, she opened the back door and got in. No hesitation, like she knew I was stopping. The door closed softly behind her, and that's when my phone buzzed. Trip started. I looked down. My app was open again. Same thing as before. Ride already active. No name, no photo, no pickup. Just a destination. I didn't touch anything. Didn't accept anything. It just started. I looked in the mirror. She was sitting directly behind me. Long hair, face down. I couldn't see her eyes. Couldn't see her expression. Just still. I asked where she was going. Nothing. No response. Then the GPS spoke. Proceed to route. So I drove. The road it took me on was wrong. Not just unfamiliar. Wrong. Houses started disappearing. Streetlights faded out. Even the road itself felt different, like it wasn't supposed to be there. About 5 minutes in, I noticed something that made my stomach turn. The temperature inside the car dropped. Fast. My breath started fogging up the windshield. I checked the heat. Still on. But it didn't matter. It just kept getting colder. Then she spoke. So quiet I almost didn't hear it. "You remember me?" I felt my chest tighten immediately. I looked in the mirror. She hadn't moved, still facing down. I told her I didn't, that I had never seen her before. She tilted her head slightly, just enough that I could see part of her face. And that's when something hit me. Not memory, not recognition. Something worse. A feeling. Like I was forgetting something on purpose. Then she said it again. "You remember?" This time, I did. And I wish I didn't. Because about 6 months before that, I had a ride. Late night, girl in the back seat, quiet. Same as this one. Same road pattern, same feeling. But that night, I was tired. I was distracted. And I made a mistake. I took a turn too fast. Didn't see the car coming. The impact was instant. Metal, glass, everything. When it was over, I got out, shaking, trying to understand what just happened. The other car was empty. No driver, no passenger, nothing. And when I went back to my car, the back seat was empty. No one there, no blood, no sign that anyone had ever been in the car. The police report said it was a single car accident. They told me I must have imagined having a passenger. That stress does that sometimes. I believed them. I had to, until now, because I was on that same road again. Same turns, same silence, and she was sitting behind me. I looked in the mirror again, and this time, she was looking at me. Her face wasn't right, pale, still, eyes locked on mine, and there was something on her forehead, a crack, like broken glass. Then she leaned forward, closer, and whispered, "You left me there." My hands started shaking. I told her I didn't know what she was talking about, that it wasn't real, that none of this was real. Then the GPS changed. Route updated. Destination was the crash site. Exact location. Same coordinates. I didn't slow down. I didn't stop. I hit the gas. Didn't care about the road. Didn't care about anything. I just needed out. That's when she grabbed the seat. Hard. The car jerked slightly. I felt it. Felt her there. Real. Closer than before. You don't get to leave again. The headlights flickered. Just once. And when they came back, we were there. The crash site. Same broken guardrail. Same marks on the road. Like nothing had ever changed. I slammed the brakes. The car stopped. Dead silent. I didn't turn around. I couldn't. I just stared forward, waiting. Then, the door opened. Slow. Behind me. Cold air rushed in. Then, it closed. I sat there for a few seconds, then finally turned around. Back seat. Empty. Again. I didn't wait. I drove straight home, didn't stop, didn't look back, didn't check the mirrors. When I got home, I checked my phone. Trip completed. Passenger rating, 5 stars. Driver rating, 0 stars. No comment, just a timestamp. From 6 months ago. That's when I realized something. That ride never ended. Let me ask you something. If something like that came back for you, would you face it or keep pretending it never happened? I kept driving, even after I realized the ride had no destination. That's what should have made me stop. Not the silence, not the passenger, not the road. The fact that the trip had no end. It was around 2:40 in the morning when I accepted it. Normal request, name on the app, profile picture. Everything looked fine. Pickup was a small apartment complex, lights on in a few windows. Nothing unusual. When I pulled up, he was already outside, standing near the curb, facing the car, not moving. I unlocked the doors. He got in, didn't say a word, didn't greet me, just sat down directly behind me. I asked where he was going. He didn't answer, but the app updated. Trip started, no destination listed. Just a straight line, forward. I frowned at the screen. That's not normal. There's always a drop-off. Always. I tapped it. Nothing. No address, no street, just a line. And a timer. I asked again. Where are you headed? Nothing. I checked the mirror. He was sitting there. Still. Looking straight ahead. Not at me. Not at anything. Just forward. I told myself maybe it was a glitch. It happens sometimes. So I started driving. The route kept me on main roads at first, normal traffic lights, a few cars. Everything felt fine. But then, the roads started emptying. Less cars, less lights, less everything, until it was just me and him and the road. The line on the GPS never changed. No turns, no rerouting, just straight. After about 15 minutes, I noticed something that made my stomach drop. The timer wasn't counting time. It was counting distance, but not in miles, not in anything I recognized. Just numbers. Climbing. Slowly. I didn't like that. I asked him again. Where am I taking you? Nothing. Then, he laughed. Quiet. Low. Like he wasn't trying to be heard. I felt it more than I heard it. I looked in the mirror. He was still facing forward, but his mouth was moving. That's when I realized something worse. His reflection wasn't delayed. It wasn't matching. It was moving before he did. I stared at it for a second too long, and then it turned its head. Not him, the reflection. It looked directly at me, smiling. I snapped my eyes back to the road immediately. My hands were shaking. I told him I was ending the ride, that I wasn't going any further. I reached for the screen. End trip. Tapped it. Nothing. Tapped it again. Still nothing. The button was there, but it wouldn't respond. Then the car slowed down, on its own. My foot was still on the gas, but it didn't matter. We were slowing. The road ahead started to change. Not physically, but it felt different, like I wasn't driving on pavement anymore, like I was moving through something. Heavy. The headlights started fading, not turning off, just fading, until everything in front of me was barely visible. And then, they cut out completely. Total darkness. The car stopped, engine still running, but no sound, no vibration, nothing. Just silence. I couldn't see anything, not the road, not the trees, not even the hood of the car, just black. I didn't turn around. I couldn't. I just sat there, trying to breathe. Then I heard it. From the back seat. A whisper. Right behind me. We're here. My heart dropped. I forced myself to look in the mirror. There was no reflection, no face, no shape, just darkness. I turned slowly. The back seat was empty. Door still locked. No sound of it opening. Nothing. I sat there for a second, trying to understand what just happened. Then my phone lit up. Trip completed. I looked down. There was a location now. Drop-off point. It didn't show a street. Didn't show a city. Just one word. Arrival. And under it, a note, left by the passenger. You took too long. The headlights came back on. The road was back. Trees, street, everything normal, like nothing had happened. I drove home without stopping. Didn't take another ride. Didn't open the app. Nothing. When I got home, I checked my phone one more time. The trip was still there. Same ride. Same details. But now, there was a second rating. Passenger rating, 5 stars. Driver rating, 0 stars. And a second comment. You'll come back. I deleted the app that night, changed my number, sold the car a week later, and I still don't drive at night anymore, because I don't think that ride was taking him somewhere. I think it was taking me somewhere, and I don't think it's finished. Let me ask you something. If you realized a ride had no destination, would you stop immediately or keep driving just to see where it ends? And if you like stories like this, you already know where to find more. Insomniac.